Can you really sue somebody these days? Like, in other words, can you take anything up with the higher up authorities if you don't like what's being said about you? If you get offended by it? And the reason I ask is because I remember a while back, ARF was saying that these people are committing felonies and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. And it was more like a threat because of the passive aggressive behavior. It was more of a threat that anybody that talks bad about them has already committed felonies, and it's just a matter of time until they get charged up with it. So I understand why you would say things like, well, ARF instead of the actual initials. I don't know, it's just something I thought of. Like, if you think you can actually sue people, the only way you can do that is if you're from the inside. And you're going to sue regular people. You know, the people that their eyes are open, their ears are open, and their senses are clear. And what happens is there's an antenna that goes up. It's a BS one. Not a GS. Well, I mean, yeah, GS too, but BS. You can just tell what the BS is. So, because you're from God and you love to tell the truth, you're going to expose whoever you believe is full of BS. And we get our reward in the end. And the end is the end of this shenanigans. Just feels like it's coming close. And we get our reward in the end. That's why you got to endure. Endure all the way to the end. So for those that plan on filing lawsuits against people, well, the only way you can possibly do that is if you're part of it. Because you cannot go anywhere and literally sue somebody for talking bad about you. Not today. Not today. Maybe 20 years ago or something, 30 years ago, I don't know. Maybe things were fair back then. But today, not so much. No regular person is going to get justice in the court of law against their own organization that's coming against you. It's not possible. Well, I'm gonna bet that when I pull up, that their garage door is wide open. And I might even hear a tile cutting sound. Might even hear the tile cutter. All right, bag. You're about it. I got a bag back here that's TIing me. And normally they'll sit right at their... sit right there, watch, act like, you know. Well, I won the bet, okay? I told you. Same thing, just a different day, that's all. What a surprise. You know, I do feel sympathy. It's like when you see somebody walking with the blind cane, when you know they're blind and they're trying to find the pavement. You know that feeling you get when you see somebody like that? It's the same feeling I get when I see these bad actors. Because think about it. If you think that a TI has it bad, I mean, the reason you are one is because of your faith, your belief system. That's the reason why. For God, that's why. Now, some people can't handle that. Some people don't even believe it. But it's true. So these people, they have to act consistently. On a daily basis, they have to act. And they have no freedom whatsoever. Because they're surveilled more than we are. They're graded on their work. Like the ones that come into my wife's work. When she worked at the daycare, the only thing they could do is follow her from the one street down. That's it. But now you got certain ones that, I guess it's whoever's the best suck up. They're the ones that get to go in and actually sit down and eat. So for those guys and gals, it's a privilege. But yesterday was pretty it was fun. Yesterday was fun. And only the ones that were there know what I'm talking about. And probably nobody listening knows what I'm talking about, but for those that were there, it was fun. Because what you do is when you recognize the whole game, and you're playing the game within the boundaries, you kind of flip it around and turn it back on them. It's almost like the when you're trying to punish your kid or something. You gotta let them see how it feels as to what they're doing wrong, so they can sense it, so they can feel it themselves. So here's one way. I'll explain this. Here's one way to turn the tables. When they try to cut you off and they turn around a corner real fast, not so much cut you off, but I mean, if you're not paying attention to the road, I guess you could get cut off. But when they did see that FedEx truck, just assume I was the truck behind it, and the FedEx truck was the truck that just turned that corner just like that. Because when you have the app, you've been doing this, you've been on the other side for a while, I can see how easy it is to just predict the movements, because obviously, you know, if you're heading home, right? Obviously you're heading home at night. So we'll just call him Mr. Ford F-150 in the green truck. We'll just call him that. He made his move, right? Made his move. All right, I see. So you're gonna escort me home. I get it. Here's how you interrupt their script. And this one was so obvious that it was freaking hilarious. I had a couple more blocks to go, like say to the top of the hill here, right, to get home. So all I did was, because he was in this lane here, well, I just went around him. And he was kind of going quick, so I just went around him, and then now he's behind me, right? And when I make the turn to go to my street, he's turning too. But what happened was I messed up his whole game plan, that halfway down the road, right before I turned down my actual street to go, halfway down, he turns around. He gave up, because there's a 25-mile-an-hour zone once you get to my street, and I don't know, it's dark out. I just want to make sure. That I can just watch where I'm going. So I gotta drive slower. So because I'm driving slower, at like 17 miles an hour in a 25, well, the guy, I guess he got tired of driving slow, so he's like, oh, fucking son of a bitch, screw this, I'm caught. So that's technically how you handle that situation there. You know what I mean? That's how you handle the street theater. You know, the street theater. That's how you handle it. So if anybody is going through this similar situation, just keep in mind, these people, they know not what they do. They do not have the love of God in their heart, because if they did, there's no way that you can continue to do that. I don't care if you're in the organization or not. Get out. Get out. If that's your job, quit. And get out. And repent. And turn to God. Because, man, you guys are just going to be in for such a surprise. You have no clue what's getting ready to happen. Even people that don't even have a claim of religion can see, even if they have one headlight, they can still see. I mean, one eye. Even if they have one eye, I'm sorry, I get sidetracked. Even people with one eye can still see that there's a major change getting ready to happen. It's this year. It's 2018. It's not going to be prolonged anymore. There's no more rap about it. And the plan is, well, for the future to just have all of those type of people living on Earth. Now, how sickening is that? You know what I mean? Like, if you had to live like that, I would prefer a bullet to the head. I would prefer a bullet to the head instead of living with creatures. But there's a sense going on. There's a feeling that people have about this, this change that's coming up. And I love the ARFs of the world. The ones that, well, I told you that, didn't I say 2 years ago this was going to happen? I knew it was good. No, dude, you're reading your script. That's the reason why you say it ahead of time. That's why many false prophets will rise. Many false prophets will rise. Because they're falsely prophesying. If you're predicting something that's going to happen in the future, you're prophesying. And if you have a script in front of you, and you're told to say this, that, and the other, and then it happens a year later or 2 years later, well, it's a false prediction. Because you didn't predict it at all. What's predictable is that you're reading a script wearing sunglasses constantly. I guess. I don't know. I haven't watched one of those videos in a while. I got, once you catch on to who is, what they're really doing, you're not interested anymore in watching the videos because you already know. You already know it's fear-mongering. Fear, fear, fear. Fear. Buy silver and gold. Guys, it's time to buy silver and gold. We're heaping up treasures in the end times so we can fulfill that Bible's prophecy. Using the big-time puppets on YouTube to promote it. Because the Bible followers are going to see, wow, man, is he really trying to promote silver and gold? Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're using their main puppeteers to push this agenda because they want you to believe that there's no way possible that God, who created every single thing that you see, including your own eyeballs and your brain cells, he's the one that created your brain cells. Don't you think he knows? Don't you think he knows that when he creates your brain cells and your veins and your bones and your flesh, don't you think he knows how it all works ahead of time? You think he's dumb? That he just created us and was like, oh well, I lost control. I give up. I give up. I can't control these little bastards. Nah, that's not the case. It's not the case at all.